Hello again. I have returned with more good tidings. Here is Bones4 Darkreach, the expansion. Now, it's important to note that this is the last of the boxes that I ordered because it was the last of the boxes available, okay? And I've been doing them for a while now in no particular order as I get time. And now it is time to open her up. Never been opened. And you guys are going to discover at the same time I do what's in the box and what little surprises may await us. I've had a few surprises, but I'll not complain because bang for the buck, I really can't say anything bad about this. Okay, so we'll start out with a lovely translucent crystal. You know, with a little love and a little paint, this could really be cool because you just paint the base like a rock and then that translucence is really going to make sense. Let's continue. We got lots of minis to go through. One of the things I love about these packs now, this is cool. Another translucent. All of these are in Bones Black, folks. All the box sets. Okay, this is a pudding. Hey, pudding. Or ooze, I can't remember. Anyway, it's some sort of ooze or pudding. Jubilax would be please. Or Jubilix. I don't even remember how to say it. All right. Ooh, this is one of those gnomes, the crazy wild ones that murder you. Murder gnomes. Of course, this could just be a, if you wanted to use it as a PC and you were a gnome fighter who used a pickaxe or mattock as your weapon, that'd be great. I'm going to guess you're probably not using that weapon. I haven't even seen anyone use that weapon since 2nd edition, and that was a noob. Now, here's a moment of truth. Our spider. I noticed a lot of these were broken, and it would appear ours did not break. So, now that's a bad thing and a good thing. This is a really cool mini, guys. Look at that. Look at all that detail. Because if it had broken, it would be easy to glue back together. So everybody complaining about the broken minis, as long as the part's there, you can put it back on. And the advantage of a broken spider is easy access to this base. Look at all those details, all them nooks. Here, let's really get in here and look. Look at all them nooks and crannies. I'm going to have to come in with a brush, and I'm going to have to squeeze in here. Have you ever dry brushed in a space that big? Okay, that's assuming that. Now, I'm probably not going to dry brush. I'm probably going to have to layer that. So that's more work for me, for terrain, on a mini. Now, I could probably bust this puppy off. Because from what I gather, it's pretty brittle. But look at all that detail, guys. I gotta say, this is probably my favorite spider mini I own. And I just opened it. I just now seen it. And I can tell you, this is probably my favorite spider mini. I would go grab a phase spider from the Noel's Years line, but that's not what this is about. And this is a superior mini to that, I must say. Not that that one's bad. I like that one. But this is really cool. Really cool. All right. As a matter of fact, I'm so impressed with this that when these come out for sale, I might buy a couple. All right. We'll save the best ones for last. Okay, Dark Elf. There's going to be several of these in the set. Look at the thinness of that blade. Again, you couldn't have done this in the old regular Bones material. Okay, so really cool that they've stepped up their game there. A little brittleness is a small price to pay for the detail. Now this is the not Umber Hulk. Okay, and I'm not going to assemble it, but very crisp details on this thing. Okay, nice little not Umber Hulk. All right, more crystals. Now I do have to question the bags. for each little. You see that? I mean, but I mean these bags are very useful, by the way. Every game where I get bags like this, board games is a lot of the stuff I buy because you get a lot of minis for your buck. Every time I get bags like these are great. You can put dice in these. You can put all kinds of great things. Let me think. If you're playing a board game and you're transporting it, right? You can put minis in these bags and protect them. It's actually because when minis rub together, it's very bad on the mini, especially if it's painted. It's hell. This will help protect that. It's a great thing. It's amazing. Dice, you don't want your dice rattling around in the box. Put them in the baggie. You could even fit cards in some of these bags. A deck of cards would fit in this bag. So these are great for transporting board games or anything like that. Here is our not hooked horror. Yeah, really cool. Really cool. This was the one that really had me excited about this set. It kind of got me to buy it. And as a matter of fact, this is another of these minis that I'm going to buy more of when they come on sale because when you encounter these things, you don't encounter one. Okay. That spider, though, I mean, that's really cool. I like that spider. I got to say that. That's the star of the show for me so far. Here's a regular gnome. Not so, or maybe a Snurfeblin, a deep gnome. But, it's not the weird, evil, crazy gnomes, which I really like that concept. Okay, here's another big one. Big boy. It's a translucent. Now, notice they've hollowed out a lot of these minis, and that has saved them, I think, some money on plastic and weight, which I think is cool. I have no problem with it because it doesn't affect the sculpt. I noticed this on the regular bones before I put them on their bases. Now, it does give you less surface area to glue. That is one downside. But, all in all, I've had no issues with that. Okay. Supposedly, yeah, there's equipment in here. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to prime and peg that out if you want to keep it translucent. Okay, so you have to be pretty careful with those details. See that sword hilt? Let's get in there and look. Yeah, all this stuff, you're going to have to prime it and paint it without getting it on the translucent. That's assuming you want to keep it translucent. If you didn't want to keep it translucent, you would just go with the whole thing. I like this. This is a not black pudding. And you want to scare your party, this is a great creature to do it because it's acidic, it destroys equipment, it does a lot of damage, and it's sneaky. Because it's virtually invisible in the dark unless unless it's moving. So it gets really good. Now, I don't know what 5th edition's like because I've never played it. I don't know about these little fungoid guys. I mean, they're kind of cartoony. I look at this, I think of the Mario Brothers or something like that, which is cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's just not my thing. I don't much care for those chibi. I think it's chibi. Is that how you say it? Those chibi minis that came with them, but some people love them, and that's the cool thing. That little chibi dragon, Rocky. I didn't buy one because it's just not my thing. This one came in some pieces, which is cool. The pieces are there. This is one of those evil gnomes. Really cool. Hold on, let's see if we can get. Yep, that's cool. That's cool. And that could double as a goblin or whatever you need it to be. It's a great sculpt. There's some real nice detail there. Star of the show here. And there's a lot of great minis in this set. This set was the first one I committed to buy on the box sets. You've got a Not Roper here. Okay, so here's the Bones 3, Bones 2 Not Roper. I had to do some mods because my dog got a hold of this one. So that is actually a bread tie. But you can't tell, can you? Yeah, pretty sweet. And I can bend this any way I want. Although, now that I have my ceramic heater, I can bend these any way I want to. But this is a whip. I haven't finished it completely. But, oh, and he chewed up the top. So, I do have more of these. They're still white. So, but this is the original, the Stone Lurker, as I recall. Stone Lurker, which is really cool, by the way. Pick these up if you get a chance, guys. It's a great model. And by the way, these bases, these wood bases, if you can find these cheap, I got these for like a penny each. I kid you not. And they were on deep discount, and I bought a bunch of them, and they are great. I'm used to round bases. That's what I started on, but these work just fine. You're using 1-inch square grid. This works just great. I don't have any problems with it. It fits right in. Here is the new one. I would assemble it, and maybe in a future video. It's really cool though. I've seen it assembled. I've seen pictures. And yeah, this is great. This is way better than this. No offense to the artist, but this is a great model. If someone wanted to fight a Stone Lurker, typically they're alone, so you don't need too many of them. But sometimes, okay. Ooh, another. We talked about Castlevania, right? Here's another. This could be. It's a big bat, right? I have actually contemplated running Castlevania Symphony of the Night as a role-playing game. It would be a very sizable encounter. And of course the PCs would have to be following Alucard around, but I think it's doable. The 3D terrain on that is just an amazing chance to design some 3D terrain. It would take years to do it justice, to do it right. Not to play, but to make the terrain. I mean, it's just, I don't know if you guys ever played that game, but it is a beast. And to do something like that, that would be insane, but it would be very rewarding, I think. I mean, if you could do even, make it even half as fun as that video game. Anyway, enough of that. Here's another regular looking deep gnome. Here is our troglodyte. And, that's the troglodyte. It's cool. It's a great sculpt. Certainly something you might consider buying more of because the encounter size is large. And they are very interesting because they, in Dungeons and Dragons, they're a fun, low challenge rating creature because they give off a stench. And that affects your, hero if they don't make their savings throws. So it's kind of a force multiplier of a sort because it makes them much more dangerous than a typical creature. Here is another deep gnome. Although this could pass for a halfling. It would be whatever you want it to be. Definitely PC quality though, and that's good because gnomes kind of get, gnomes don't get the love they deserve, I think, sometimes. They make great illusionists, always have. I've loved playing gnome illusionists. Here's one of those evil satanic gnomes. Again, these could be goblins just as easily, as you can see. Or they could be the, they're evil gnomes. Yeah, they could be evil gnomes. Here's one riding a beetle, which I actually expected this beetle to be bigger. I don't know why. It's fine. I like it like that. But there was a beetle in the fans' favorites, and I thought they'd be comparable in size. But this is cool. It makes more sense. It's a little tiny. It's a little on the small side. But it's fine, because it's a small creature riding it. So, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's cool. Cool model. Definitely something you don't want to run into. Here's another dark elf. Here, let's actually pull these out. These are kind of the star of the show, too. Dark Elf minis can be hard to come by, and it's a very popular PC race. That's the thing. So, okay, everybody's got the old Hasbro models, right? Everybody's got the old, everybody's buying the WizKids unpainted, but there's only a few of those. Well, this gives you more options, and these are just as good as any of those. Here's a close-up of one of these troglodytes, so you get an idea of, there's a nice gap there on the tail, but putty will fill that in. The tails are very interesting, but that makes this a unique sculpt. No other troglodyte's going to look exactly like this. So, again, this would be something you might want to buy a bunch of. Get a horde of them going. Maybe they'll have a value pack, 3 at a time kind of thing, like they do with skeletons sometimes. All right. Now we're getting into some really cool models here, but the thing is with this set, a lot of them are going to be in pieces. Okay. So this is the Cacodemon. I can't remember what they called it. But basically it's like a beholder without eye stalks. Okay. Except it's a demon. If I remember right, it's not a demon, it's a Yugoloth. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a floating ball that shoots fireballs and is generally nasty. Or maybe it runs, I can't remember. The concept originally came from the game Doom, as I recall. The video game. And then Wizards of the Coast. Now, this is a not Cacodemon, or Cacodemon, or however you say it. This is, I'm not saying that's what this is. I'm just saying that's what this isn't. But it's a really cool monster. If you ever played Doom, it's certainly worthwhile. It'll give you the heebie-jeebies. They kind of float around and attack you. All right. Another giant bat. Right back to, and I believe there's 2 or 3 of them in here. All right, here's the fungal. Now, these were really cool. This is another reason I got the set. I didn't like the cartoony mushrooms, but myconids, or myconids, depending on how you say it, have always been a favorite critter of mine. Okay, so then this is the maiden, I believe. I think. Well, there's 2 of them. There's the maiden and the queen. And I don't think this is the queen because she's not that big. As I recall, the queen's really, really big. But anyway, look at all this detail. That's a nice little toadstool there. What's that? Yeah. All right. Let's keep going. Okay. Now, interestingly, this pack has 2 models in it, which I find interesting because these gems from earlier are 1 per pack. And then we got 2 and 2 for, which is fine. I have no problem with them, saving plastic baggies. I find that interesting. Okay. And here we go. Another drow. Dark elf. Definitely look different than your average run-of-the-mill elf. I will grab, real quick, just for compare and contrast sake, there are some elves that came in the main set. Now, granted, I haven't opened my main set. I actually bought 2 core boxes, and I haven't opened either. These are just extras. I bought 3 extra sets of these elves. So, here is the elves from that set. This is like an elven barbarian, looks like, which is really cool. You don't see a lot of that. Could be a ranger too, but the point is it's got a hide kind of cape. But if you compare these elves, you'll see that, they've got their own design. You know, this thing, it's got a skull in its hand. You know, that's not meant to look cute and wholesome like, say, this elf. This elf's kind of wholesome, right? You know, some sort of paladin trying to save the universe. This person is not trying to save the universe. Quite the opposite, probably. However, now depending on what you want to go for, this elf could either be, you know, like you're an archaeologist, Indiana Jones kind of thing going on, or a cruel taskmaster who fits right in with her, right? Teach these slaves what it means to suffer. Yes, mistress. Whoopsh, whoopsh. You see? Depending on how you paint it, you could make it whatever you want it to be, guys. So, yeah, that's why I bought so many of these sets. I mean, this guy here, that is a dark elf. Even if it isn't officially. Now, I'm going to hit this with the heat gun and make that look nicer. But, yeah. Tell me that couldn't easily be a dark elf as well. But then you get into this one. You could go either way with that. That could be a dark elf, or that could be but it doesn't look necessarily dark. Whereas this, and this is my point, this is a dark elf. Good luck trying to paint it as anything but a dark elf, because you're going to look kind of silly. So that's really cool. And you can also see the difference in the detail between the Bones Black and the regular Bones. All right, here's another one of these bloodstone gnomes or whatever they are. Yeah, and he's got like spikes for gauntlets. That's his weapon. Here is a not Zorn. And this looks like a pretty sweet sculpt. The not Zorn. And that's a creature you could get a couple of, you know. Here's another one of our fungoid. Anyway, the video is getting a little long, so I'm not going to put everything together. And we still got quite a bit to go. All right. Here's another dark elf. Really sweet. And that one, if it weren't for, I mean, if you just did that as banded male instead of like bone, like it looks like it's meant to be, you could probably pass this off as any kind of elf you wanted. But it's still a sweet sculpt. Another bloodstone gnome with the, man, their weapons are really oversized and crazy. I like it. They definitely got character. They got, yeah. Another crystalline formation. These are fine. Lovely terrain. My only question is, why not put them all in one bag if we're, you know. This one I don't have any problem with. This is cool. It's not cartoony. I like it, actually. Maybe that's the maiden. So the one I had was the queen. Okay. Here's another troglodyte. All right. Man, we got a lot. So these aren't quite as big as I thought they were. Here's another one of our fungus men. Okay, yeah, I didn't. But that queen is cool. Here's another one of the cartoony ones. And you know, it's a fine model. It's just not my style. Here's a not shrieker mushroom. I don't know why it's translucent, but you can paint this up. You know, everybody. I've taken those translucents from previous sets, and you just paint them. And like the Invisible Heroes from 3, I got 2 sets because I got it aftermarket. You just paint them like you would anything. You prime them and paint them, and they look just like they're supposed to look. And then you have one set invisible one and one not invisible one. Here's some mushrooms, some fungus among us. It's on a sprue. So there you go, guys. There's a Bones Black sprue. You can play with that and check it out. Bend it and see how breakable it is. Here's another not shrieker mushroom. Reminds me of a morel with tentacles. Yeah. And here's another giant bat. Really nice details there on those. We're getting really close, guys. Bottom of the barrel here. Here's another, definitely, this is a dark elf, no question. And really cool. Now here's a regular looking deep gnome. Not so bloodstony. And we're almost there, guys. Here is our not displacer beast. And again, translucent. You don't want it translucent, just prime it and paint it. It was a little small. It's a little on the small side. But it's really cool sculpt. It's really, really nice. I like it. I like it. All right. And the star of the show. The Dark Elf Queen on her throne. You will have seen these in previous sets. There is the Dwarf King on his Dwarven throne. There's the Ghoul Queen. I believe she comes with a throne. Or no, she doesn't. There's some Death Knight. It starts with a D. Dragoth. He comes on a throne. I've seen several on a throne. So it's a motif that Reaper does a lot. It's really cool. This thing looks bitchin'. All right, I got to stop this video because we're getting really long in the tooth here. Once again, guys, I hope you find all the minis of your dreams while you're awake. And have a great day.